everyone, welcome back. In the last lecture we studied how to identify the subject and predicate in the declarative and imperative sentences. Today we are going to study how to identify them in the interrogative sentences. But before we begin the chapter, let me make one thing very clear to you. Some people are of the view that there is no subject in the interrogative sentences. Some say that it is there and we can find it out. So today we are going to study the way in which we can identify the subject and predicate in the interrogative sentences. You know that an interrogative sentence means a question. It begins with an auxiliary, means helping verb, a modal, or a WH family word, means what, whose, why, how, etc. ओके, समझ में आ रहा है आपको? डिक्लेरेटिव सेंटेंसेस में सब्जेक्ट यूजुअली सेंटेंस के बिगिनिंग में आता है, इसीलिए उसे और इसीलिए सब्जेक्ट और प्रेडिकेट इन दोनों को आइडेंटिफाई करना आसान होता है। लेकिन इंटरोगेटिव सेंटेंसेस में ऐसा नहीं होता है। इट इज नॉट सो इन इंटरोगेटिव सेंटेंसेस। This is the reason people struggle while identifying the subject in such kind of sentences. But you need not worry. We have a very simple way to identify the subject. आपको क्या करना है? बस interrogative sentence को statement में convert करके लिखना है। Subject आसानी से मिल जाएगा। The second thing is that if you ask a question with whom or what, we can easily get the answer. The answer we get is the subject. And once we get the subject, we can easily identify the predicate part. See here now, I have divided the interrogative sentences. The first type is yes-no type questions and the second type is questions beginning with WH words. Now let us study the questions one by one. जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया कि इन क्वेश्चंस को हमें क्या करना है, स्टेटमेंट में कन्वर्ट करके लिखना है। इससे हमें सब्जेक्ट बहुत ही आसानी से मिल जाएगा। So let us see this. The first question is the ground ready for playing? So the conversion of the sentence is the ground is ready for playing. Can you identify the subject in this statement? See, the ground is the subject. And this is the remaining part. Is ready for playing. This is the predicate. And so you can say that the ground is the subject part and is ready for playing is the predicate part. Okay, so the ground is the subject part, is ready for playing is the predicate part. Now see the second question. Are you blind? इसका स्टेटमेंट क्या है? You are blind. इसमें सब्जेक्ट कौन सा है? Can you identify the subject here? Yes, you is the subject. What remains? Are blind. So this is the predicate part. So you can say that you is the subject part and are blind is the predicate part. I have written here P means predicate part and yes also P predicate part. This is the subject part, are and blind predicate part. See the third sentence now. Have you plugged the rose? The statement of this question is you have plugged the rose. What is the subject in this statement? You. And have plugged the rose is the predicate part. So you can say that you is the subject part and have and plugged the rose is the predicate part. Here I have underlined the whole predicate part. See the next sentence now. Am I confused? This is the fourth interrogative sentence, means a question, and the statement is I am confused. You can easily identify the subject here. What is it? Yes, you are right. I is the subject and am confused is the predicate. So you can say that I is the subject part and am is predicate part, confused is predicate part, means am confused is the predicate part. See the next question. Did Ben want a pen? The statement is Ben wanted a pen. Who wanted a pen? Ben wanted a pen. And so Ben is the subject part and did and want a pen is the predicate part. Ben is the subject part and did want a pen is the predicate. So you can do it in this way. The next question is, would you like coffee? The statement is, you would like coffee. What should be the subject here? Of course, you. And so, you is the subject part and would like coffee is the predicate part. Here, I have written you subject part and would predicate part, like coffee, predicate part. So, you is the subject part and would like coffee is the predicate part. Find them. So, all these are the yes no type questions. Means, whenever such kind of questions are asked, we can get the answers as yes or no. I hope that you have observed one thing here. In each sentence, the predicate part contains verb. In the first sentence, is the verb, here are is the verb, here plucked is the verb, here am is the verb, here want is the verb and here like is the verb. So you can understand one thing that in each predicate part there is a verb. Okay, I hope that this is clear to you. The next type is questions beginning with WH words, WH family words. Which are the WH family words? What, whose, whom, how, why, etc. The questions beginning with WH words. See here, the first question is, where is the garden? Now, how to identify the subject in such kind of questions? In the same way as we have done this. See, first of all, we have to convert the sentence, that is the question, into statement, into simple sentence. So, कैसे convert किया है इसको देखो. The garden is where? Okay, what is the question? Where is the garden? How we have converted the question in statement, the garden is where. कैसा लग रहा है ये? It seems to be very very funny. बहुत funny लगता है, लेकिन this is the way in which we can identify the subject very easily. Since अपना statement तैयार है, the garden is where. So you can easily say that subject is what? The garden. And so you can say the garden is the subject part and is where is the predicate part. If you ask the question here, what is where? The answer you get is the garden. अगर आप who or what ऐसे questions पूछते हो, if you ask the question with a word who or what, the answer that you get is the subject. Okay, see here. The second question is, when did you wash your clothes? Statement कैसा किया है देखिए. How it is converted? You did wash your clothes when? What is the subject here? You is the subject and so you can say that you is the subject part and when did and wash your clothes is the predicate part. Okay, this is the predicate part. So you is the subject part and did wash your clothes when is the predicate part. Here, how can you ask the question? Who washed the clothes? You washed washed the clothes? When did you wash the clothes? Who washed? You washed. Whenever you ask the question with who or what, the answer that you get is the subject. So here, when you ask the question who washed, the answer you get is you, and so you can say here you is the subject, and as you is the subject, here you can say that you is the subject part in the sentence. Okay, the third sentence is why are you late? Now, the statement is like this: you are late. This is very simple and you can easily identify the subject here. You is the subject, and so here you is the subject part, and why are late. Are late is the what? Predicate part. Fine then, who is late? You are late. And so if you ask the question with who, then you can get the answer you, and so here you is the subject. Fine then. How will you climb? You will climb how? What is the subject here? You is the subject, and this is the remaining part of the sentence, and so it is the predicate part. So you is the subject part. How will climb? Will climb how is the predicate part. Fine. Now, see this sentence. Who are you? You can understand here that are is the verb. Okay. Now, how is the statement converted here? See, conversion of the sentence is you are who. What is the question? Who are you? Who are you? How we have converted the sentence? You are who? Can you identify the subject in this sentence? Yes, the subject is you, and so you can say that you is the subject part and are who means here who are is the predicate part. Now see here, who is cooking? Who is cooking? Now tell me, can you convert the sentence like this into statement? No, here we cannot do it. Okay, here we have converted, we have made this sentence, we have converted this question into statement. But here we cannot do it. If we try to convert the sentence, it will again be as who is cooking. And so here who is the subject and is cooking is the predicate part. So here this difference we have to understand. Whenever the question, see here, subject always gets an answer of who or what. Means whenever the question is asked with who or what, the answer you get is the subject. In this sentence, we cannot get the answer of who. We again get the same question, who is cooking? And so we can say who is the subject here. In this sentence, we have made a statement as you are who. The conversion of this question or this interrogative sentence, who are you, is you are who. And so we can say that you is the subject, and so in this sentence you is the subject part and the remaining part is the predicate part. But so far as this sentence is concerned, this question is concerned, we cannot do it. And so here the question is again the same. Even though we try to convert the question into sentence, we get the same sentence. And so here who is the subject and is cooking is the predicate part. Now see this sentence. What is your name? What is the subject in this sentence? First of all, let us convert the sentence into statement. What is the conversion? See here, your name is what? Can you identify the subject here? Yes, you are right. Your name is the subject and this is the remaining part is what. So you can say that your name is the subject part and what is the predicate part. The next sentence is, the next question is, what do you like to eat? Can you identify the subject in this sentence? I have not explained anything here. Here we can say that you is the subject part and the remaining is the predicate part. Fine then? So in this way you can identify the subject and predicate part in the interrogative sentences. Even though the questions begin with WH family words, means what, whose, whom, why, how, like this, you can ask the question with who or what and get the answer. Because whenever you ask the question with these two words, the answer you get is the subject in that sentence. I hope that you have understood this. So, in this way, we have studied how to identify the subject and predicate in the interrogative sentences. Today, we have studied two types. Yes, no type questions and questions beginning with WH words. What you have to do is to remember two things. Number one, convert the question into statement, and number two, ask the question with who or what. By doing so, you can easily get the answer. Because whenever you ask the question with who or what, you can get the answer and it is the subject. And once you identify the subject, it is very easy to identify the predicate part because the remaining part is the predicate part. So practice a lot. Thank you.